my darlings. Welcome or welcome back to the podcast that we like to call Things That... Oh, wait, fuck, I forgot our name then. You know why? It's because I looked in the mirror and it was back to front and I was going to read it and I thought, oh my God,
What
it's
was
back
the
to front.
accent at the start there?
Hello, my... Wait, I don't even know what I did. I blanked out.
Yeah.
I blacked out. I don't know what happened. But the podcast is called Things I Wish My Mum Told Me with me, your host, Emma Tamsin Hill.
And me, your other host, Clara Hermit.
Clary Hermie.
I'm not sure what happened to you there.
Me neither, but
I
thought
enjoyed
it was
it.
all right.
No, it was like, I thought you were doing like a Cockney accent at the start.
Can you just give an example of what I did? I forgot.
I can't, but it was very interesting.
Hello, my...
I don't know where we're going now.
Oh my God.
So, mate, if I just started doing like an Australian accent.
You love to do the flipping Australian accent.
No, but you did like it was like me going, I love... You all right?
Yeah, like this.
Welcome to... No, but you did a more Cockney more one, like a more southern accent.
Cockney,
like cat off of EastEnders.
Cat Slater. Hello, darling.
That was exactly what you did.
Hello, darling.
That was how we started this podcast.
GC. I got kiss my designer vagina. Kiss my designer vagina.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, darling.
Consent's important.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks.
So guys, I'm going on holiday. Well, this podcast is not going up in real time, but basically I'm going on holiday and we're recording today and then I'm going away tomorrow. So to the studio, all I have brought is my holiday clothes.
Bikinis.
So I've been rocking about in like beach shirts. So if you're watching on YouTube, it could double up as a smart shirt, but it's kind of giving linen beach shirt. Just know it comes with a matching set of shorts.
I've gone with a blazer.
Yeah, you look very professional. She's giving houndstooth.
Business, but I've got trainers.
Houndstooth with her running shoes on. Pick the kids up. Oh no,
also,
it's giving business meeting at 5.
My thighs hanging out the hole. There's a hole there.
Her pants. She said she's never put them on before, but there's a hole in them.
They're ripped.
Where are they from?
Zara.
Zara.
They're on. It's on the seam though. Someone will just sew that back up for me. I won't do it myself because I'm not handy.
I need to sew my bag up. My bag started ripping. My good old trusty. I know.
I know I should probably have some more of those skills, but I don't enjoy them, so I don't want to do them.
Exactly, and you shouldn't do things you don't enjoy.
I don't think so, no.
You know, there's time for other things.
I'm not enjoying sewing.
We can't do all the things all the time.
Did you do textiles when you were at school?
A bit, but like it was like DT, so you do like various different things.
Yeah, I did woodwork.
Yeah, so we downstairs in like tech, there was like electronics, graphics, woodwork, and food tech and art, all like in the same corridor.
Yeah.
I
did food, textiles, which was the
so we didn't do textiles at school. You could do it at college, but we didn't do it at school.
Okay, yeah. I mean, nothing good came from it. I'm going to be honest with you. Some people put a needle through their fingers on the sewing machine. I made a terrible cushion that could never be used.
Actually, we might have done it in like year 7, 8, 9. You do like all of them.
Yeah.
I used to love the soldering. Do you ever do soldering at school?
Yeah.
We used to make like stick men out the solder and like solder it all
You weren't
together.
supposed to do that, were you?
Can't remember.
No, because
I did a lot of things I wasn't supposed to do, Clara.
I bet you did. No, the soldering for like making electrical circuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. But then we like would make stick men and shit out of the solder.
Of course you would. I know what kind of person you were at school. I used to spend my lunch times acting out historical events that took place to perform in front of my history class. That's why I had so many merit awards.
So you was LARPing?
What?
LARPing. Live action role play?
Oh, right. Yeah, basically.
You were LARPing.
We were
I
LARPing.
love that word, LARP.
I think it's just, we didn't really have that many friends. There was just a group of us who were like...
You were definitely a LARPer.
Also, our history teacher would just hand out merits like they were, nothing, like they were chocolate buttons.
Oh,
and the more you got, the more you get a diploma. So it's just like, why not?
Sick.
Why not make the most of it? And then I went to my second secondary school and it all changed. That's when I was smoking, doing all kinds of things.
Smoking in the bushes, wearing your push-up bra underneath your school uniform, tie this short.
I always rolled my skirt up.
Yeah.
So that basically my vagina lips were on show.
Was you a tights girl or a socks girl?
Tights.
Yeah, I was a socks girl until year 9. But then I turned into a tights girl.
Yeah. There's a bit of protection there.
Yeah. I used to wear 2 sets of tights. I'd wear 2 pairs of tights and then my school shorts and then my skirt.
Oh, that's actually very wise.
It was dedication, all because I was bare insecure. Like, girl, you could still see your legs with 2 pairs of tights on, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I used to do, but I used to get called a fat bitch every day, so that was fun.
Not fat
Yeah,
bitch.
that was what
What the fuck?
the people used to call me at school.
That's
That was I
horrible.
know it wasn't very nice. But anyway, needs must and all that.
No, they didn't need to call you a fat bitch.
They might have done. They were probably very sad inside. Hurt
Maybe there was
people.
bad things going on in the marital
Yeah.
home.
Marriage? They were
Yeah,
kids.
with their parents.
Oh, right. Okay, I was going to say they weren't married. Anyway, we're doing another Dilemmas episode today.
Of course we are.
We're not here to talk about our childhoods anymore. We've already
We're not here to
informed you
talk
about our design and technology needs at school. I'm sure you found that fascinating.
Yeah, they were all probably fucking falling asleep by now. No one listening anymore.
If you are listening, don't forget to give us a review. Only if it's 5 stars. If it's not, just do it.
Don't bother. Don't do it because it makes me really sad.
Turn your ears off if you don't like us. You don't have to ever listen to us again if you don't like us. Just don't give us a 1-star review.
You know what? We're just not in the mood for
rejection
today. We're feeling very sensitive and soft.
My period starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm coming up to ovulation, so I'm feeling frisky.
It's so interesting. The more that I track my period, the more that I really understand everything. Like yesterday, I was so emotional, and it's just like, yeah, but this will be gone tomorrow because it will. And at the start of the week, my whole body was empty. It was like no energy whatsoever. I could hardly move.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's actually crazy because you think there's no way hormones are doing this, and then it's like, no,
they are.
It is.
Hormones are the truth.
Do it every month.
Yeah.
But once you realize that, though, you feel so much more at ease because instead of that like doom of like, oh my god, my life's over, it's like, oh, I'm just during my period.
Yeah, it's taken me bloody 17 years or whatever to work this out. I just didn't even think about it. But once I saw so many people talking about their cycles and how different things impact them, and I was like, oh shit, maybe I should look into that. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's like clockwork every single month. Like certain things that happen, like literally 2 days before my period, every month I am an emotional wreck and I cannot contain it.
Oh, bless.
And that's why the message that I was reading to you earlier got sent to somebody because I was feeling a certain way. But I was like, good, I'm glad I did that.
Got it off your chest.
Got it off my chest.
Good for you, girl.
You've been getting things off your chest with your dilemmas. We are going to do some of those now. Emma, are you ready?
I'm always ready. Born ready, ready to rumble.
Ready.
Let's get ready. Can you believe that was on the deck, wasn't it?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Get ready. Get steady.
Let's get ready to rumble. I don't know. Is that how it goes?
What were they called? PJ and Deck?
PJ and Duncan.
PJ and Duncan. What was that about?
Well, they were actors in Biker Grove.
Biker Grove?
Yeah.
Ain't none of that when I was young.
Oh,
when I was back in my day. It were fucking Hazel Green.
I came before you.
I know you came before me, girl.
So about back in your day, it was back in my day. It was there first.
I'm gonna say
Biker Grove, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
That's the Biker Grove theme tune.
Oh,
it was set in Newcastle. Biker Grove, yeah.
Biker Grove.
Yeah.
You fucking slut. That's the only thing I can do in a Geordie accent. You fucking slut.
They probably said that on Biker Grove quite a lot. It was like a youth centre and there was all sorts of things going on.
Hell.
And then PJ and Duncan went paintballing and then they got shot in the eye and then one got blind.
Which one was that? Ant or Deck?
One of them.
Oh, God.
Even I don't have that good of a memory. Anyway, right, let's get on with this first dilemma.
All right, darling.
I have a very sad dating history. Don't we all, mate? I mean, no. I've had a very sad dating history. A series of ex-boyfriends have cheated, abused, and treated me very poorly, which I believe has stemmed from daddy issues I've had leading to poor decisions when dating. After a 2-year break, a lot of therapy, self-care, and learning to love myself, I decided it was time to start dating again. I matched with a man on Hinge last year who is now my boyfriend and quite honestly is the kindest, most caring man I've ever met. He also has a great job, is attractive and financially stable. However, in the last few weeks, I'm starting to feel bored and I don't want to sleep with him. I'm even questioning if there is a connection at all. He frequently tells me how madly in love he is and has even said he's going to marry me one day. I'm really confused as to why I'm feeling like this, and I'm wondering if this could be self-sabotage, but I really can't work out what to do.
Oh, that's big self-sabotage.
I suspect that it is self-sabotage coming into play.
Yeah, that's literally what I thought before she even said, oh, is it self-sabotage?
Yeah.
I was like, you're panicking because it's actually healthy and you've never experienced anything healthy. I was speaking about this to one of my friends, one of my male friends, because he was saying to me, because he had always been in like toxic relationships and stuff. And once he got in like a healthy relationship with a girl who like was really nice and all that stuff, and didn't have she hadn't been in toxic relationships
Yeah.
before, so she was only coming in with like the
Good energy.
purest intentions, with no,
Mhm.
past trauma
Mhm.
in relationships. He said when he was with her in the beginning, like he got on so well, and then it got to a stage where he was like, oh my god, like this is like, is it boring, like this, but then he realized, oh, it's just because it's healthy and
Mhm.
it's not toxic, and
Mhm.
my emotions aren't going up down up down up down.
Mhm.
I'm not like panicking internally, and it's
Yeah.
actually healthy. So my brain's telling me that it's boring, but it's not. Like
No.
this is just
This is how it
how a
should be.
relationship should be.
And I think we have to be really aware that we can get addicted to emotional states,
Hmm.
and they not good emotional states either.
Yeah.
Like very often people become kind of like victims, and you'll hear them kind of stay in that victim mentality the whole time because they get something out of it.
Mm.
But also, I think it's worth saying that obviously I know you've done therapy, and I think that's absolutely great. But from my perspective, when it comes to my healing, I've had to go back to therapy when certain things have come up for me,
Mm.
because although you've done a certain amount of work, those same things, like those daddy issues that you're talking about, will be part of your subconscious programming, which is so deep
Yeah.
that it will start to show up in other ways as well.
Hmm.
So it's about recognizing that and then going and seeking like professional help. Our subconscious programs are so powerful, and they're subconscious. They're not a
Hmm.
conscious thought that we think that we're
Hmm.
aware of. They're like a computer program that dictates how we behave. So
Hmm.
if say your subconscious program is like, for a relationship to be successful, or for me to feel comfortable in a relationship, somebody needs to be horrible to me, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, or someone being
Keeping me on
horrible
my
to me
toes.
equals love. If that's what you've kind of assumed from your
Yep.
childhood, when someone's not doing that, it might be you feel unloved, or and so it's really about actually, I think, then saying, hold on a second, I know that logically this makes sense, but this is how I'm feeling, and they're completely opposites.
Mm.
I would suggest going back to therapy and
Yeah.
speaking to somebody.
Yeah, I feel like that would be good. I feel like you're just getting in your head though, and you're panicking
Yeah.
because it's like it's going so well and he's so in it and you're not used to that. You're like, what? And I feel like your brain's trying to find things and panic because it's like that feeling of, nah, I can't have my happy ending.
Mhm.
Maybe it's because you don't feel that deep down that you deserve your happy ending.
Mhm.
And that's why it's like, oh my God, this is weird. Like, and you'll frame it in your mind. This is so crazy because it's all something that is not even conscious.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
all done subconsciously
Mhm.
without you putting major input into it or your knowledge. And yeah, it just might make you feel like you're not worthy of it. That's the deep down
Yeah.
feeling, but it comes out as like, oh, I'm bored. It's like,
Mhm.
no.
No, and it just makes you feel uncomfortable because it's not the kind of map of love that you're used to, or the map of relationships that you're used to. Look, I was with somebody when I was 20. So for a couple of years I was with this person who was just a really great person, like really, really great. And I ended it with him, and I called it off with him, and it was just because, like, I think part of me realized at that time that it doesn't matter how great you are, I'm never going to be happy unless I kind of like heal my
Mm,
inside.
yeah.
But also at the same time, I really pushed him away because I wasn't used to somebody showing up for me and somebody loving me. I was
Mm,
used to like these extreme emotional highs and
mm-hmm.
lows. And he was somebody who had a really stable family.
Yeah.
His mum and dad were very lovely and still together. And so for him, his experience of life had been that life is either kind of like okay or it's good. Like
Yeah.
there's no, and because I'd been through a lot of trauma,
Mm,
I was just like, he doesn't, he can't understand me. Then I feel really alone, but I'd always felt alone, and so I don't think any person could have made me not feel
yeah.
alone. But I was really young and I didn't understand all of that. And reflecting back now, I know that actually, it was a really healthy, really good relationship,
Mm,
but I I needed it to be over because it didn't fit my
yeah.
version of relationships or love.
I think as well, for people that have been through trauma like that, you've got to think for them, chaos equals safety.
Yeah.
That's all you've ever known. So when things are toxic and this, that, and the other, that's your safe place.
Mhm.
When it's healthy, it's actually that's very scary for you, and it makes you want to run away from it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just better understanding yourself and unlearning all these habits because it's not your fault that that's the way it is. Like you can't help your childhood.
Yeah.
So it's just about doing the work to unlearn that, so you don't like pass that on to someone else.
Yeah. And I think before you kind of also destroy a relationship that is potentially really good, then I would definitely go and
Yeah.
see somebody.
And after you've done that, if you still feel like, oh, this isn't my person, then
That's
at least
fine.
at least you did the work, and
That's
it wasn't
fine.
coming from a place of like,
Self-sabotage
yeah,
and self-destruction. Because I think there's nothing worse than like looking back and being like, oh
and
shit.
regretting.
Yeah,
Be
and
like, oh,
regretting it.
really, and I probably gave that person some of my trauma when they didn't need it, when I could have just worked through it.
Yeah, because especially if you're acting off of, it sounds like kind of subconscious programs being triggered. Like if you're acting off of that, it's not what you truly want in your heart either. Or anyway, I know you say that you're feeling bored, but it just sounds like it's something that's being made up to
Yeah.
mask what's really going on. And maybe not. Maybe you are bored, and no, and maybe you guys shouldn't be together. But I think if it was me, I would, as someone who you say you've been in therapy, you've already done some of the work, I would go straight back to that and work out like what's really going on here, like what's really happening. And it can be a great opportunity for you to heal, and it could potentially strengthen your relationship even more as well. So
absolutely
lovely.
gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
Oh, let me put on more. I'm such like a.
Do you want to
lip
read
balm.
this one to me?
Yeah.
She's got this is a
She's
different
got
lip.
a great profile picture,
Yeah.
that girl.
It's anonymous.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
That
not that you've given
person.
anything away.
That person.
That's another lip gloss you've got out now.
It is, yeah. I've got various different ones in me. This one is the MAC. Get a load of this, right? So its name is Squirt Plumping Gloss Stick.
Squirt. Does it squirt?
Well, listen to this ASMR, guys.
I mean, it was going well to start off with. It's got
Anyway,
gone a bit left now.
So I think because like, can you see that it's a stick? It's like a gloss stick.
Yeah.
So when you put it on your lips, like it's really glossy. So I think that's where the squirt comes from, like water, wet, squirt. Anyway, it's really nice.
Okay.
So I have a little collection of lip balms on the floor. Okay. So, hi Emma and Clara. Hey!
Hi!
I need some clarity, please.
Yep.
So let me get into it. I have a huge crush on this guy at work. That's already a dilemma in itself because I've always heard it's messy to date people you work with. She's heard that here because don't shit where you eat. We've said that.
I know you said that. I said
that. She says get into it. I said don't shit where you eat. I talked to myself when I first started at this job that I wouldn't be messy. I've never dated people at my other workplaces, but there wasn't anybody I found cute. So it was an easy rule to follow. This place, though, there are some cuties. There's this particular cutie that I've had the slowest burn with for months now. What do you think I should do? Well, it actually ended on slowest burn for months now. So I'm guessing she's asking, what should she do?
What should you do? I think you should start a conversation with him, because if it's a slow burn as well, you don't really know if you actually genuinely fancy someone until you start speaking to them and knowing a little bit more about them. Or do you just keep the slow burn going because that's the exciting, fun thing?
Absolutely. Because you know what it is? I've said it before. This isn't me that said it. I heard it somewhere. Desire is like the most erotic thing. So it's like once you actually have them, you'll be like,
well, I don't know.
It's like the wanting that, oh my God, see him in the office, give him a little look. Oh my God, what if we're at the photocopy machine together? Whoops, what if we fall into the store cupboard together and just have a little kiss? That's desire.
But that's not a slow burn. That's fantasy.
Okay, maybe.
So you're saying keep it a slow burn and then fantasize about it.
I'm not the right person to ask about this because personally, I wouldn't date anyone in my office seriously. And if me talking like I've ever had an office job.
Never worked in an office.
Yeah, but I can, like, guys, I have this picture of working in an office, and when I picture it, I picture the library at my university. You know, like all the computers and all this on the top floor. There's all these computers. Yeah, if you went to UCLan, you know. Do you know what I mean? All these computers, and then just everyone sat at the computer, doing work. And I think I would never date someone seriously at work. Like, I would never take it seriously. So if you're gonna date someone at work, in my head, I'd already be thinking this is just a fling. But that's just me.
So you're going straight into the cupboard.
I'm giving straight to the sex fling,
stationary
vibe.
Cupboard.
Because really, do I want a relationship with someone that I see every day at work? Fuck no.
Yeah, but you might not see each other all day, every day. It depends how big the office is. They might work in a different department than you.
Oh God, I didn't think.
And it could be easy. You could just share the journey there, but then you go and do your own things, and then at the end of the day, you share a journey home.
I like space and separation.
And it's good to carpool.
I like space and separation. I like us to have our own lives.
Mm.
I like because then I feel like a lot of our relationship is revolving around work. Like, oh my god, did you see Sarah? She got a new haircut. Rat-tat-tat-tat.
They might not
No,
even know the same people.
I just it's personally not for me. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not for me.
I think, so I've got a gym crush. Well, I don't know if he is my gym crush anymore because it's been going on for so long now. And then,
And you never spoke to him.
no, wait, when there was a mouse in the
No,
gym,
no, you've told this story. I remember this.
yeah, and I was going to catch the mouse, we
Yeah.
spoke, right? So
Yeah.
that's where we left it. So we've spoken. And then the other day I walked into the gym and he was there.
Yeah.
And I smiled at him like this. Hi!
Don't. You didn't wave, did you?
I did a little wave.
You waved.
Yeah, and he just didn't do anything. Nothing. He just stared at me with a blank
No,
face.
he didn't.
I shit you not. He stared at me with a blank face.
Wait, so have you seen him since you caught the mouse?
Yeah, I think so. I've seen him since I caught the mouse.
And you do a little smile.
Smile, yeah. So this time I just went, hey, like that. And he just didn't, nothing. And then I found it quite funny. I was like, oh my God, this is so funny. And then I've seen every time I see him since. Like one time, I was going into the gym, he was coming out, so he's walking along the street, and I looked at him and smiled. He just looks at the floor and keeps walking. I'm like, oh, I don't think you like me. Or
maybe he's got a girlfriend now.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you always had a girlfriend.
But I was just being friend. I'm not trying to pounce you.
Jesus.
So anyway,
wait, maybe he heard you talking on the internet about him.
My point is, I think with this is that I feel like sometimes you can see somebody and have like, a crush on them and think, oh, they're attractive. But then actually in real life, not that I've actually spoken to them properly, but if you had like a proper conversation with them or you got to know them, then you wouldn't fancy them. So for me personally, I'd rather get to that point rather than it being like where I waste energy daydreaming about it and it being like a fancy or whatever. I'd rather just find out if there's something there or not. Because a crush can be over so quickly.
Yeah, once you start chatting, you think, oh.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh no, I actually don't fancy them anymore. And then it's put to bed and it's done, and the curiosity is gone. Because I'm one of those people as well. I probably have ADHD. I do need to go and actually check that out. But if I'm focusing on something, it's really hard for me to focus on other things. So if I'm at work and there's someone I fancy, it would distract me a lot.
Yeah.
So I would need to know either yes or no.
Sanity.
And I think I'm a little bit different to Emma. And for me, I would want to find out if I genuinely like this person and actually wanted to date them rather than have a fling with them.
Yeah.
Because I think it would make things more awkward if they treated me like shit or, whatever happens and I've got to face them at work all the time.
Didn't even think about that.
As opposed to if we actually were seriously dating each other and they were respectful and nice. So I just think don't leave it to like acting on impulse. Don't leave it to
the work Christmas party.
Yeah, lust, alcohol, any of that stuff. Just have a chat with them and find out if you actually like them.
You are clever. Just because whenever I think about offices, obviously I think about the library at university, but I think about my friend who used to work in this office, and it was so incest. Like they was all fucking each other and and so that's what I feel about offices. Like they were messy.
Yeah.
If you work in recruitment, you are a messy bunch because I know what you lot are doing on the work trips.
There's loads of stuff. I've heard stuff about that this week from one of my friends who works in the corporate industry. So I mean, there is loads of that happening. But I think, it depends where you work and if you're in an office where you're not traveling all the time and stuff, just speak to people.
And it's nice to have a little flirt on a day to day.
It is, yeah.
She needs to have a chat to him. Just like nothing serious, like fucking, what do they call it? Water cooler talk.
Yeah. Have a little chat with him. And then you might not fancy him or you might fancy him either way. And it will just give you more gauge of whether he fancies you, all of that.
And just be friendly because you literally work at the same place. Yeah. It's not like he's a stranger because you both have the common ground of working at the same place. So it's not like he's going to be looking at you sideways thinking you're trying to flirt with him. Like you literally are colleagues. And
what you could do is like create a little bit of a friendship because that's a good way to get to know somebody and work out what they're like. And if other people see you talking to someone, other people will pipe up and be like, oh, did you know he's been with so and so? So you can kind of find out like that.
Fucking Rebecca behind the bins.
Yeah, basically. So that would be my thing, is just stop leaving it in your imagination, take it into real life, like I tried to do with my gym crush, and you could just get pied.
Yeah, just ask him his name. If you're in the same place at the same time, be like, oh, what's your name? I don't think we've met before. Hi, I'm John. What's your name?
My name's Dave.
Are we gay men?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're John.
Yeah, and you're
Why
Dave.
can't I be Dave?
All right.
I'm
fine.
Sandra.
Listen, equal rights. So like, sorry, I got flustered then. I didn't expect you to be Dave. So,
she's fucked it.
I fucked
John's
it.
fucked
I've
it.
already fucked it. Right, sorry. Can we go again? Oh, hi. I don't think I met you before. What's your name?
My name's Dave.
Oh, what department do you work in?
I work in paper clips.
Oh, I love paper clips.
Me too.
I actually work in staplers.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, have you got a collection yourself?
A good few. Like, how long have you worked here?
Oh, I've been here for like 18 months now. You?
Just 2 months. That's it.
2 months.
I'm new. I'm a
Wow. You
baby.
don't really know anyone then.
No, I don't. I actually, well, I've got a couple of people that sit near me, like I'm good friends with, but I'm just trying to get to know everyone in the office.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
we have drinks on like a Wednesday night. Some of us. So
Oh,
if you want to come
really?
along,
Oh, I'd love to. Where'd you go? Down the street? The Garrison?
yeah. We go there, play a little bit of darts, bit of pool.
That sounds up my street.
Yeah.
Up my street. What's your go-to drink?
Oh, I like a
Are you okay, Dave? Dave, what's wrong?
can't think of a drink.
Oh,
I wanted to say a pint of Werther's original.
oh, you like bitter? Oh, that
Yeah.
my dad drinks that stuff. Couldn't have it. I'm a Bacardi Breezer kind of girl.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Anyway, I've got to go because my rice is in the microwave and it's gonna overheat. So I'll see you later.
Nice to see you. Bye.
Bye. There you go.
I think we did quite a good job until the Werther's original.
I feel like I'm such a natural flirt.
Yeah, you are. I'm not at all. I'm like a brick.
Yeah, you froze when it came
I'm
to
like,
what's your favorite drink.
I've got better though, because the guy in Paris. Have I told you about the guy in Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you haven't told me personally. I saw it on your.
Yeah, I was quite good. I spoke to him. I started.
That was really
talking to
good.
him. Yeah, and I said to him, "Have you done any more photo bombs?" Good, because I saw him
Mhm.
photobombing people,
Mhm.
and that's how the conversation started. So I'm proud of myself for that.
Well done, darling.
Well done. Right, are we ready for another
I'm
dilemma?
ready.
Let me clear my throat. Right. So recently I got married and moved cities, and I moved in with my in-laws. It's been 3 months, and I recently found out I'm pregnant. I'm
Oh,
so
congrats.
happy and over the moon. However, my new home situation is becoming hard.
Mm.
My mother-in-law is lovely, but is so overprotective that I can't really have a life. I've explained this to my husband, but he just becomes quiet. He doesn't know how to deal with the situation. I'll give an example. So the other day, I went out for a little walk, just about 20 minutes. And on the way back, my mother in law calls me, anxious, wondering where I am, even though I've said I'm going out for a walk. And she said that walking this much is going to harm the baby and orders me to come home.
Oh my
So I
god.
do. When I'm home, she talks to me about how walking may harm the baby. I try and respond respectively to say that activity is encouraged, but she dismisses it. Another example is that I wanted to get an early reassurance scan because of my lack of symptoms, but my mother in law started getting so anxious and crying and said that she doesn't like scans and that I'm harming the baby. I feel a bit of my heart hurt when they mention hurting the baby. I feel like it pulls my heartstrings and makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. I was trying to find work, but they were making me feel down about it, and now I've lost motivation, even though I'm actually quite highly educated. I feel like I'm trapped in a cage and I don't know how to get out. I talk to my parents and siblings a lot, but I don't want to worry them, so I conceal how I'm feeling. And they're planning my sister's wedding, so I don't want to put too much on their plate. My dilemma is really, how do I regain my confidence and independence without ruffling feathers at home? Sorry, it's a long one.
She needs to move out of that house.
She needs to move out the house. The thing is, I think in like certain cultures, etc., it's
I
like
was just about to say if it's like a cultural thing
it's really normal to live with
mm,
like your husband's parents,
after
like
you
to
get married,
after you get married, to live with your in-laws.
like forever or just for a period of time.
I think forever, because then the idea is that you look after them. I think that's the idea, and I might be
Okay.
wrong, but I think obviously things are changing as well,
Mhm.
and I think there's a lot of people who make their own rules, I guess,
That's what I
once they're
mean.
married.
Like, I don't want to like if that's a cultural thing and you want to do that, then
Hmm.
that's great. But at the same time, just because, I mean, yeah, I don't want to overstep. But if it's a cultural thing, it doesn't mean you have to do it. Like, you can make your own rules. It's
Yeah,
your life.
but I think the problem might be that if she's spoken to her husband and he's already not kind of being
But he's
particularly,
probably a mummy's boy. He sounds like a mummy's boy and under
hmm
the thumb.
yeah, being particularly responsive or supportive, then it's quite difficult, isn't it? Because she can't just do it on her own. She needs
Mm,
him to be on side with her.
yeah. Have you
But
ever dealt with like a mummy's boy, like hardcore mummy's boy? Because I feel like them relationships are hard when you're with a man who is like, and I feel like most people like their parents are going to be above your partner,
mm,
which is like, but it's hard when it's like you're having to prioritize. Do I prioritize my mother's wishes or my
yeah,
wife's wishes?
that would be really difficult. Like I do appreciate that would be difficult, but I also think in this scenario, if you've chosen to marry somebody
Mm,
and they are your wife and you're
hmm
having a child with them, you want both them and the child to be as happy as possible, because that's going to benefit your life, right?
Absolutely.
And your quality of life and your happiness. And I think it's a difficult situation. But what I would say in the scenario is, she said that she hasn't spoken to her siblings and she hasn't spoken to her parents because she doesn't want to put pressure on them. But I suspect that they're probably going to be some of the best people for you to talk to,
Mm-hmm.
because, if it is a cultural expectation, they're going to understand it, way more than potentially Emma and I do. Also, they might have experienced similar things
Yep.
themselves. They might have advice. If they haven't experienced, they might have a friend or, like a member of the community who's experienced something similar, and they might be able to give like some really good,
Solid
solid
advice.
advice. And I don't think that, I think part of this and the reason that it's so hard is because you're dealing with it on your own.
Yeah.
And it must feel like that. If you tell your husband,
That's what I mean. Like, you can still talk to your husband without it being an attack on your mother-in-law. It
mhm,
sounds like you're putting up with a lot and doing it very graciously. So I think you need to talk to your husband and tell him that you really appreciate how much his mum cares. Because when even though it's annoying, when you break it down, it's because the mum cares.
mhm.
Like, she just really wants a healthy baby and really wants, it's obviously very important to her. But you know, I think you need to break it down to your husband, because your husband, like, if 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 you're stressed
Mhm.
whilst pregnant, that's not good. Not good for you, not good for the baby. So it's like, if he really wants what's best for you, then he needs to, but it's hard though, because it's like, how do you tell your mum to take a step back and to just chill?
I don't know how you would do that, but that's something that not you would not have to navigate, that your husband should be navigating.
Yeah.
He's now your
It's not
husband,
your
is the
responsibility,
man,
really.
and it's his mother. So
Yeah.
I think it's something for him to navigate more so than you. And you're carrying his baby, so obviously he doesn't want you to be stressed out. I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? Because the very thing that her mother-in-law doesn't want to happen,
She's
she's making
causing.
happen. Yeah. And the other thing, when you said about you were looking for work and then they kind of made you feel bad about it, but you're quite highly educated, I'm presuming that but prior to marrying your husband, you would have spoken to him about both of your expectations of what it is to be a husband, a wife,
Yeah.
like what your future looks like, whether you're going to work and pursue your career, what childcare looks like, all of those things. I'm hoping that you would have done that. And then, for me, it would be like, right, we need to sit down and have a serious conversation,
Mm-hmm.
because these are the things that are really important to me, which you knew and have always known.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to support me in these right now. Um,
I wonder if the mum would take it the wrong way if she kind of came to her and like, or challenged her when these things are brought up. Like when she goes out of the house for a 20-minute walk. And well, it sounds like she kind of is
she said she
challenging her
did,
though.
respectively, she did say to her, well, actually, no, activity is
Yeah, like,
good for
that's
you.
insane. What, you wanted to stay in the house for 9 months? That's no good for the baby.
I think she's
That's not
saying
good for her
if
either.
she walks too much, but actually, there's an incredible
Walking is
PT.
the
There's an
lowest.
incredible PT at my gym who looks like she's about to pop any minute,
Mm,
and she must be, and she's doing full on workouts. She
no.
looks incredible, like she
Yeah.
looks amazing. And I know that it's not a competition and everyone's different. And I'm not saying that you should, be doing hard workouts, but
No, but low
for
impact
you,
walking.
if for you walking is good for you and makes you feel good, it's going to be good for the
Yeah,
baby
and
as
it's not
well.
just a physical thing, like it's a mental thing as well. And just getting
Yeah.
outside, getting some vitamin D.
So I think, looking at that situation, and obviously, like Emma and I both said, if it's a cultural thing, there's sensitivities that we're just not going to understand.
Understand.
But I really do think finding somebody that you could speak to about it, whether it's a friend, whether it's your siblings that you're close with, whether
Yeah.
you and your parents have that kind of relationship,
Yeah.
or a member of the community that you can have this kind of like
Yeah.
conversation with, someone that you actually trust, and see what they say. But also, I think, like Emma says, I would say to my husband, I'd get them out of get him out of the house. So I'd be like, right, can we, if it's date night, or can we go for dinner, or
Well, could they not like move out?
we need to have a talk. Yeah, and suggest what it is that you want. And it's probably, if it's hard now, it's probably going to be even more difficult once the baby
Baby
arrives.
arrives. Although it'd be nice to get the help from her, but not if she's going to be super controlling about it.
Yeah, and overbearing,
Yeah.
etc. So I think that these conversations, although like you said, you don't want to stress your parents out, you don't want to stress your siblings out, these conversations would be much better had now than
Yeah.
before you're pushed to a place where it's like breaking point,
Yeah.
or so
Because like, you're really a grown woman
yeah.
who's married and pregnant, like, and being bossed about by your mother-in-law. Like,
Yeah.
we can't be having that.
No. And also, you're like you said, you're educated. If you want to get a job and that's something that you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you've lost like motivation wanes for all of us, but it sounds like you probably just feel like it's not really an option right now.
Mm,
And so it sounds more de- like that would make me personally feel depressed
yeah.
because you're losing control of your own life.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of seems a little bit. It's like you've
And she's
gone from being independent and making your own decisions and going and getting your education and doing all of those things to
yeah.
now you've moved in, you've got married, which, should be another step in, I guess, like an adult life.
Mm-hmm.
But you're now moved into a home where you're feeling again a little bit like a child. And I think it's maybe that loss of
Exactly.
control that's making you feel unmotivated
And
because it seems like whatever you do is wrong.
yeah, and she's putting the needs of her mother-in-law over her own needs,
Yeah.
and like trying to be respectful and listen to her and please her and do all this stuff, because obviously like that's such a weird dynamic, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like the mother-in-law and like marrying her son, and because you want to respect her, but at the same time it's kind of like, why are you trying to boss me about? Like you're not my mum.
Mhm.
So don't try and boss me about. But
Mhm.
you obviously can't say that because you need to be respectful, because she can then be whispering in your husband's ear about you, and yeah, it's all long.
So that's why I would go to my family and I would go to my
Yeah,
husband.
so you have someone to talk to.
Yeah. And really kind of, really, really not go in on him and attack him in any way, but really try
No.
and get him to see how tricky and difficult it is.
Yeah.
And, really reaffirm what your wants and expectations are, I think.
He probably don't want to be involved because he knows what his mum's like. He's lived his whole life with that woman, so he knows she's difficult, and yeah, he probably knows you're getting the brunt of it. So I think he feels awkward, but you need to hound it home to him that you're feeling very uncomfortable. And you're pregnant, man. You don't need no stress.
You do not need stress like that, especially when you're carrying his baby.
A
A
baby.
little baby.
Anyway, we hope you get it sorted.
We
Have you got
do.
another one? Can I read
Yeah,
it?
we're going to do this one. Here we go. This might be quite similar, actually, but anyway.
Is it?
No, okay, let's go for it. This one's for you, sir. So mix a lot.
Okay.
I love big butts and I cannot
Okay.
lie. Sorry.
The subject of this email is help. My partner's
No.
parents won't let us move in together. Hi, girls. Loving the pod. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm writing in with a dilemma. I've been with my boyfriend for just over a year. We're both 32. After about 6 months of dating, my boyfriend floated the idea of me moving into his flat when my flat notice was up in April of 2024. He currently lives in his parents' old house. They don't live there. At the time, I thought it was a bit soon, but we've been talking about it more and recently been making arrangements to make it happen. I was about to hand my notice into my landlord this week when he said he was just going to check with his dad about rent, etc. His dad then said he thought it was too early for me to move in and why don't we wait another year? Basically saying I wasn't allowed to move in their flat. For context, my boyfriend's parents are from Nigeria, so quite traditional, and I've only met them once. My boyfriend's doing, not mine. So they don't really know me. The idea of my boyfriend's dad dictating whether we can or can't live together makes me feel like a child, though. My boyfriend said he was going to speak to him again and try and convince him, but to be honest, the idea of making the flat a home for me seems unlikely now when I feel like his parents don't want me there. We both feel ready to move in together, but I get the sense my boyfriend wants to stay in the flat because the rent is very cheap. What should we do? Oh, again, family, parents, cultural differences.
It's a lot.
I'm getting the
I don't think you
mm,
should give up that easy on his dad because I get why. The thing is, you're both 32. I mean, like if you were 10 years younger, or even 25 or whatever, I might get it. But
yeah.
you're both 32. You're both grown up adults. But I think, like his dad's probably just doing it from the perspective of being older, having lots of life
Mm,
experience, having seen people move in together,
not wanting his son to be hurt.
it not working out, and then all of the rigmarole that comes with that, and then we don't know what his dad has seen or
Yeah, he's
experienced.
probably thinking worst case scenario. What's gonna happen if they break up and we have to move out and then be
Or will
living in
she
my
move
house
out? Well, she
together? And
won't get out, and then
yeah,
all of those kind of things. And I don't necessarily think that he is saying no. I don't want you in
yeah,
particular because it's you. He doesn't even know you.
exactly.
He's just saying that maybe from his experience and his perspective, like knowing someone for 6 months isn't long enough for them
How
to
long's it
move in
been?
together. 6 months, she said they've been
No, it's
together.
been over a year.
Oh,
About She said after about 6 months of dating, my boyfriend floated the
oh, but
idea
they've
of
been
moving
together for
in.
over a year.
Can I just say, I moved in with someone when I was 22,
Mm.
after we had been dating for 3 months.
Yeah.
And my parents were all over it. My parents were on it like a fly on shit.
What, they loved it?
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, move him up." He lived at my parents' house before we moved in together. My parents were all over it, which is so weird.
But
I was 22. We were together for 3 months.
But to be fair, I moved in with my ex-boyfriend, the last guy that I was with. After 6 months, we moved in together to my flat because he lived quite a way away,
Well,
and
that's
it was
the
just too
same thing that
long.
happened to me. He lived in London, I lived up north.
Yeah,
My parents were like, "If you want to be together, then why the fuck
do
don't
it.
you just move up
And
here?"
then when I was in my early 20s, my then boyfriend moved in with me as well after maybe, I don't even know if it was 6 months. Same thing. He just lived too far away and we wanted to spend more time together and we really liked each other. So, I think that's okay. The problem is, like, if the flat didn't belong to his parents, they
Yeah.
wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
They'd be cool. So it's not
They'd be
about
like-
you. It's also that they have some kind of say over that property,
Yeah, but he don't want to move out of it because it's cheap rent.
which I get.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if both of them lived there, it would be cheaper for both of them.
Yeah.
But I personally, if it was me, I wouldn't take it as an offense that his parents have said that. I'd be annoyed,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't take it as a personal offense.
I don't think it's an attack.
No, at all. Or that they don't like you. Like you said, they've only met you once. I would say to my boyfriend to speak to his dad and go back to him and say, what would make you feel comfortable to let us move in together?
And I feel like at a certain point, like, although you're always going to be your parents' child, it's your life. Like,
Yeah.
you're 32.
Mhm.
So if it's not so much a, can my girlfriend move in? It's
Yeah,
like my
she
girlfriend's
is.
moving in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Like what can really go wrong? If the
And
relationship doesn't work, she can move out again.
yeah, I feel like he needs to double down on it. But I understand her feeling uncomfortable now because it's like, well, April's coming up. So it's like,
What do I do? Am I moving in or not? So I think that comes down to your boyfriend really to have that conversation with his dad. And if I was her boyfriend, I wouldn't have told her that he'd said that until I'd spoken to him again properly.
Yeah.
And if he still had reservations and was still adamantly against it, I'd probably be the kind of person that's like, do you know what? Then fuck you. I'm going to move out with her and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if you do rent somewhere else together, between the two of you, it's going to be cheaper anyway because you're splitting the bills between two of you. So is it going to make that much difference?
That's just going to be awkward though, isn't it? Like if he has to move out of the house, it's his parents' house, and they're moving together. Like I would just go back to my dad and be like, "Dad, I know you're not super supportive of this, but like I know what I'm getting myself in for, and if
I'm
anything
doing it."
goes wrong, I'm going to be the one dealing with it, not you, And I know you're just trying to protect me, but I'm like, I want to be with this girl, so this is what's happening. Because then I feel like it then becomes an awkward family thing with they're like, "Oh right, well I'm moving out," and they'll be like, "Where are you moving to?" "Oh, I'm moving in with my girlfriend," and it's like because you said I couldn't. And I was like,
Yeah, it would cause
a
drama.
weird tiff.
But he could go to his dad and say, "Look, Dad, I'm 32. My girlfriend's moving in." And then his dad says, "No, she's not. What are you gonna do?" And then his dad
If
says,
he
"You need
puts
to
him
get
in that
out."
position, it'd be like a why?
Yeah.
For what reason? Oh, and then it'll all come out.
Worst case scenario is that. But I think he just needs to go and say, "Look,
yeah,
Dad,
he
I'm
just be
really serious
protective.
about this. This is what I want. I'm 32. She's
Let me
moving
read
in."
this again.
Well,
Let me
you've
just
read
get all
it.
my facts
You've
straight.
got all the facts straight.
I need to know what he said. He said he thought it was too early.
soon,
That's
yeah.
a thought. That's not a fact. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also
Oh.
it's not against her. It's not saying, "No, we don't like her. She can't move in. We don't think you should be with her."
Oh, so he suggested that they wait another year.
Yeah.
So I think he needs to go back and explicitly say, "Dad, she's moving in."
Yeah, we've been together for a year. We're not going to wait another year.
And then if he says, "No, she fucking ain't,"
Yeah,
and then it's like, well, I'm gonna move out then.
there you go. But it's down to your boyfriend to go and
because-
assert that. But don't take it as they don't like you. Don't take it personal and don't
No.
carry that.
Like I said, you met them once. But
Yeah.
what that's also well, no, sorry, it's been a year. So
But she said that's her boyfriend's
yeah,
choosing.
but her boyfriend's doing, which I wonder why. Maybe it is like a cultural thing.
Or yeah, it could be that, or it could be that he doesn't, he knows what his parents are like, and
And yeah, knows that. Yeah, I get that.
some
And as
people
well, you
like
got to
that
think not everyone has the same relationship
with
like
their
with their
parents.
parents.
Mhm.
Everyone has very, very different relationships with their
Yeah,
parents.
and for some people, it's like really normal, after you've been dating for a little while to meet their parents. For other
Mhm.
people, it's like, no, I would never introduce someone to my parents unless I
Yeah.
knew I was really serious
Yeah.
about them. I think with my dad, because he's so casual and chilled,
Mm.
I would introduce anyone.
Serious.
No, not at
Oh,
all.
you didn't choose anyone.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel away.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't bother me. And if I introduced him to someone and then he never saw them again, he's not going to be like,
Bothered.
yeah, he's not. But I just think it's not personal. It's not about you. It's just about someone's parents thinking they know better than them, and he needs to go and have that conversation with them. And either it's a yes or it's a no, and then
Yeah.
you can make an informed decision from there.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
You never know. It could be a blessing in disguise. Maybe if you moved in, it would just all go tits up.
Be a
That's what happened to
disaster.
me. I will never move in with a man that quick ever again. Oh God, no.
3 months is very quick, though.
Extreme. Well, we'd known each other longer than that.
But you were very young.
We'd probably known each other.
She's using her fingers to
maybe
count.
6 months. We might have known each other.
Right. Okay.
We might have been together in a relationship for. Well, actually, we'd only been in a relationship for 3 months.
Okay, thanks for that. So we've got to the same conclusion we started with. 3 months.
Yeah, what a fucking nightmare. I was 22.
I would move in with someone again after 6 months. I just don't think it's that much of like a huge
Personally,
deal.
my trauma won't allow it. My trauma won't allow it. My trauma won't allow me to move. I am in no hurry to move in with the guy I'm with now.
I
No
just
hurry.
don't think it's like a huge deal. I just think it is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's that. But I wish you all the very best of luck. But I do think it's a conversation that you need to have with him, and then he needs to have with his dad. Are you ready for the next one?
Oh yeah, is this gonna be our last one?
It's gonna be our last one.
Okay, go.
Hey, here's my dilemma. Please keep it anonymous if you ever use it, though. We always keep it anonymous.
Anonymous.
Anonymous. Is that a song?
No, wait, that's giving me some sort of feeling in my brain.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Must be off some musical.
Okay. My boyfriend of 1 year still speaks to this girl he had sex with multiple times. When we got together, she declared she had feelings for him, and he doesn't think it's weird that they text every day.
Sorry?
She even cried at Christmas because the present he got her was so thoughtful.
What? He's buying her Christmas presents?
She's best mates with his mum and family too.
Oh, God.
So it sort of feels like she's an ex that's still very much around, but maybe I'm being dramatic. Who knows? Thanks, girls. Love the pod, by the way.
That's it.
That's it.
So what? Are they friends or not? Like, have they known? Like, wait, there's so many unanswered questions here. So, is it a family friend? Is it someone you've known since you was a child? Because it's like you're saying she wasn't an ex, like they were just fucking. But who gets to know the mum that well and build a relationship with their mum?
A girl he had sex with multiple times. Maybe they've been like friends since school.
Yeah.
And then it developed into a sexual relationship.
It's giving that she hates this girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's not saying, oh, his friend that they've also slept together a few times. She said this random girl that he used to have sex, because it's making no sense if it's some random girl.
It's a girl that he's had sex with multiple times.
So it's obviously his friend.
A friend.
Yes.
A family friend.
Let's call it what it is. It's a friend.
Yeah.
So they're friends and they've slept together.
But he does text her every day. And
I'm trying to let go of my feelings towards male and female friendships.
No, but what is the girl, when they got together, this girl has said she's upset because she's got feelings for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's out of respect for my new partner, I now couldn't really be super close to you.
No, I'd have to really distance myself.
I think you can be friends with like people and be in a relationship, even if you slept together in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's,
But not if one of you has
Not if one of you have feelings for each other, no. That has been vocalized.
Yeah.
No, because out of respect, like say I'm like with my man now and someone like, I would have to keep an arm's length from you, because first of all, I'd be leading you on.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, like that's gonna make my new partner so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I need to consider who I'm choosing, my new partner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but then it's hard because if you've been friends.
I mean, it's really tricky because obviously she's friends by the sounds of things with his mum. And if that friendship is already there, then they're not going to end that.
I'll have to say to my mum, you're gonna have to stop texting her. You know what mums are like? They can just be like,
yeah, but it sounds like this isn't more of just texting. She's actually friends with her. You can't expect them to no longer be friends with somebody because you say so.
I mean,
no.
I just don't get it because my parents would never. My parents aren't like that. My mum's so antisocial.
But I don't think, what I'm saying is we don't know the backstory, but I don't think the parents are friends with this girl or the mum's friends with this girl because that they were in a relationship.
Mm-mm.
So
they're just friends.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, if the boy and the girl, like, imagine, say they went to school together, the boy and the girl, and this mum has known that girl since she was 11 years old or whatever, and has seen her all the time, like
Yeah.
your best friend, maybe you are with your best friend's parents that you knew from school. Like, you know their parents really
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know them, you get on with them, you could happily sit there and have a cup of tea with them, even if your mate's not there,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. And then they've ended up sleeping together, but
Yeah.
they've still managed to maintain a friendship afterwards. Are you then saying that that his mum should say, "Oh, I'm not going to speak to you anymore. I might have known you 10, 15 years, but I'm not going to speak to you anymore."
I do get you.
If so, there's someone that I know who his ex cheated on him, was not very nice to him, and he found out that his mum was still speaking to her. I mean, I think that's a really different
That's
situation.
bad.
It's horrible. It's very horrible. But also, I think if the reason that your mum is friends with someone is just because of your relationship, and your relationship ends,
Yeah.
then that's a no-brainer to me. Like, you don't need to continue
Yeah.
that relationship. However, that's not always true either. I stayed friends with my ex-boyfriend's parents, and sometimes I'd go around there for dinner, but I didn't really have any other family either, and they were so nice to me. So
So I mean, all these stories and
so
dilemmas are so
nuanced.
nuanced, so nuanced.
And we don't know the whole entire
like, yeah, she might not
story.
have a mum. Do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
that woman is like a motherly figure to her.
Yeah, I think the bit that would make me feel uncomfortable is the fact that she's acknowledged that she has feelings for him,
Yeah.
and that he's still maintaining such a
A
close
decent
relationship
friendship,
with
yeah.
her. I think he could take a step back.
Yeah. Big time. To make you feel comfortable and ease your mind.
Yeah, I don't think you're being dramatic. I think that would be a really difficult situation to navigate.
God, let me even put myself in this situation.
I would hate it. I wouldn't be able to deal with that.
No, me neither.
I wouldn't be able to deal with that. It would be too much for me. It would.
Like, yeah.
I could deal with my being with someone who has a friend that they've slept with.
Yeah.
I could deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, that they, they're part of a group of friends or whatever, and they see each other every now and again. Like, they drop each other a message, they're very transparent about
Yeah.
it. But
Like
someone,
going to the effort of buying a present
Christmas
for
present
them,
for
a
that,
really thoughtful Christmas present,
yeah,
that would make me uncomfortable.
that would make me uncomfortable. The fact that they text
Are we wrong for
every
that?
single day they text.
Yeah, like I think it's just about what you're comfortable with. Like some people wouldn't care about that, would they? Some people
It
really
would,
wouldn't give a shit.
even if the girl said,
Some people are just so no, sorry. I mean I don't mean about the girl saying
she's into him.
I mean the texting every day in the present. Some people wouldn't care about that.
Yeah.
Some people are so secure in themselves and their relationship that wouldn't bother them. For me, like I had a bit of a wobble last week, I like I had to chat to myself and say, Emma, get a grip. Like you need to, you're in the wrong.
What
I was actually in
happened?
the wrong because with my mum, he went out with one of his female friends, went to cinema. Anyway, they went to they went to get some food after and ended up at a bar till like 4 a.m. They voice noted me at like 4:30 in the morning getting home. And I was pissed off because I'm like, what are you doing gallivanting all hours of that hours of the night with a woman that I don't know? And he's literally like, Emma, like literally one of my friends. And I'm like, you're right.
And he's messaged you when he got home?
Yeah, literally voice noting me as I can hear him pissing in the toilet. He's obviously just walked in drunk, having a piss, voice noting me. I was like, and I was pissed off the next day. And I was just like, but I was quite mature about it. I was like, but I was a bit passive aggressive as well. I was like, because we were speaking about it the next day, and then I was like, I'm pissed off right now, so give me an hour and I'll come back to you. I should have just gone away for an hour and not come. Like, that was me being passive aggressive, and
You wanted him to know.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it all got ironed out, and he apologized, and he was he was like, I'm sorry, I've made you upset and whatever. But I was like,
you didn't do anything wrong.
Literally, and I said to him like, you haven't done anything wrong. Like this is like just me being insecure.
But now imagine that's someone that he's had sex with.
Yeah.
That he texts all day, every day.
Oh God, no.
And that when she finds out about you, she tells him that she has feelings for him.
No. I couldn't, for my own sanity. Like I just don't feel like. But then what's the option? What, break up with him? Like,
don't know. I think I'm going to say again.
What?
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation.
Have a conversation with him.
This podcast should just be called. Have you tried talking to them? Like, that's just what it should be called, because all these dilemmas, the answer is have a chat.
Have a chat, love. I mean, I think the worst case scenario is that you end up breaking up over it, right? But by the sounds of things, you're not okay. Like, you're not okay, and that's important too. And if if the scenario was different, and you were just being kind of like, over the top or insecure or whatever, I think that would be different. But I think there's a lot to this scenario. I think it's very nuanced, and I don't think that I would feel comfortable in that situation. And I just think that you're going to have a chat with him and see what he comes up with and what he's willing to do. And is he willing to understand why it makes you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Because if he's not willing to understand, if he's like, well, no, like doesn't want to listen to you, then that's a bit unfair.
I just don't think I could be with a man who's maybe this is me being childish. If this is me being childish, then I'll admit it. I don't think I could be with a man that's buying thoughtful, sentimental gifts for a woman that is not a family member.
So much so that she cries. Also, a woman that he's had sex with, Anna said that she's got feelings for him. It gets worse.
I understand having close friends. I do.
Yeah, close friends is one thing.
But
she said she's got feelings, romantic feelings.
Someone that they've had romantic sexual escapades with, and someone who says that they actively have feelings for him, and he's buying sentimental gifts. No, I couldn't. That wouldn't run with me. No, that wouldn't run with me.
No. So I do think it is about having a conversation.
I'm even getting stressed thinking about it. I'm putting myself in the situation, and I'm thinking about it.
Finding out if there's a compromise.
I'd have to smack him in the face.
I'd have to smack him in the face.
No, sorry. No, we don't. No domestic abuse. I would have to firmly tell him that I was upset.
Yeah, and see what compromise he's willing to come up with. That's what I would do. Like, see where he's willing to go. And it doesn't. You're not saying that she's being like spiteful to you or she's being horrible to you or any of that stuff. But I just think, it's about chatting to him and seeing what compromise he's willing to make and seeing if he's willing to see your point, and then making a decision based on that, I think.
Yeah.
Wolf.
That's about it,
Hey, Siri, what would you do if your boyfriend was talking to a girl he had sex with?
Oh.
I think Siri's gone into overload.
No words.
I don't have an answer for that.
She doesn't have an answer.
No.
So even Siri don't know.
No one's got an answer.
Oh dear.
Right, loves. It's been fantastic.
Made it to the end of another episode.
We have made it to the end of another episode.
I quite like that. That was upbeat and poppy.
It was quite
that
good.
Felt like something off a daytime television program.
Considering how bad my singing is, I thought that was quite good. Yeah. I'm quite proud of myself for that. So we've made it. We're here. Woo, woo, woo.
Well done, everyone.
Well done, everyone. If you sat through another episode, you're a G.
I know if you made it to the end, because Clara seems to think nobody listens to the end.
I don't know if they do. What emoji should we get them to put in the comments if they listen to the end?
The present box emoji.
Oh, yeah. It's a good one. I like it.
Giving gifts to girls that aren't your girlfriend.
It's a no.
I'm saying no. Oh, that came up this week. Yeah. That came up this week on my. I haven't heard it in ages, and I've become obsessed with it again. That's a bop.
It's a bop.
All right, girls. Well, thanks for joining us. If you want to send us a dilemma, you can hit us in the DMs, mumtoldmepod, or you can hit us in the emails, mumtoldmepod@gmail.com. Everything is always kept anonymous.
Do you know that's what I used to do? If I was feeling like anxious before like doing a radio show or like hosting something or anything like that, I'd go like this.
Like get it all out. Like just exert all your energy. Yeah. Like all the nervous energy.
Yeah, just get it out. And you've got to punch like that.
It's kind of hurting my arms.
I feel like it was good exercise as well. But anyway, just a little tip. Try
Gets your heart rate up, adrenaline pumping.
Need a breather after that. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Mum Wish I Told You pod.
What? Sorry, what? It's been the podcast.
What does it take to be a garage MC? Personality, originality on the microphone. It's got to be.
Lovely.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.